Good afternoon, YouTubers. I am back on my channel, back from the Continental Divide Trail. It's been about a month now. I'm already back to work. I work here in Hancock, Maryland, which is a big trail town actually. They have a number of trails that pass through town, including this C O Canal trail, which I'm riding my bike on, and also the Tuscarora Trail, which is near and dear to my heart. But I want to talk a little bit about bicycles on this. I know I'm a hiking channel, but when I was on the CDT, I rode a beach cruiser in East Glacier and just fell in love with it. And it was an Electra. And so when I got home, started looking on eBay, and I found one nearby I ended up getting it for like $120. Long story, but it's worth it. I was happy. I've been doing some work to it, put some brakes on it. It needs a little bit more adjustment and stuff. But for a beach cruiser, you don't expect a whole lot. And it's just a simple bike. It's got 7 gears though. So, show you a little bit of this trail as we go. And we'll also talk a little bit about the CDT maybe, because I still have that on my mind. And I didn't want to just finish it and brush it off. It was a big deal. And if you watched, maybe you have some questions. I'll try to answer the common questions as we go along. That's going to be the game for this video. But for now, I'm going to get a little pedaling in, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. This is Route 522 I'm going under. I drive this to work every day. Goes to Winchester. I think it needs a little work here. If that bridge is ever closed for repairs, I don't know how I'd get to work. Most of you know that I'm a forester, but that's not what I've been doing for the past 6 months or so. Well, besides hiking, I work for a cannabis company now. True leave. I'm still wearing my work shirt. Yeah. If you know me, you know that's a fitting job for me. So the first question that gets asked a lot, which one was your favorite trail? The AT, the PCT, or the CDT? And my answer is always, they're like my children and I can't pick a favorite. But if you were really to force me to pick a favorite, the AT is home to me. It's where I started this whole backpacking adventure. Not the first place I backpacked, but it's my home base for backpacking. And I still backpack a lot on the AT, so I'd have to go with the AT if you pinned me down on one. But man, the CDT and the PCT are gorgeous. They really blow the AT away for scenery. It's my opinion. But the AT to me is so much more welcoming. And that's probably because I live in a hardwood forest. But that's the big difference for me. I just feel more at home here in the East. I love the West though, don't get me wrong. So that's the first one. So, question number 2. What was the most surprising thing about the CDT? To me, the most surprising thing was the solitude that I found on the trail. I always thought I would really end up in a group of other hikers, but I never did find that group of people that hiked at the same pace, had the same hiking style, and that I wanted to hike with long term. So I hiked with a lot of people, but it was a very solitary trail. Much more so than the PCT, where I had a hiking partner for a good part of it. I would say I didn't have a hiking partner for this entire trail except for a few sections. Shout out to Maui. He's my bro. But he's about it, man. That's about it. Probably only hiked a dozen days with him, but we saw each other in town a lot, and we always had fun. So, what up, Maui? Third question. By the way, there's been no planning on this video. I'm coming up with these as I'm pedaling along. But third question, how'd your body hold up on the CDT? My body held up like remarkably well on the CDT. Better than I thought. I did have some foot pain, blisters, especially the first summer. Did I get a blister this summer? I don't even think I had a blister this summer. This summer was my back hurt a little bit. Seemed like it was just tired, sore. So that was the biggest issue for me, was my back. But really, because I took it easy, relatively speaking, I just didn't have a lot of problems. It doesn't have to be a painful experience. Just listen to your body. 30-mile days, you're gonna hurt. I didn't do any 30-mile days. So that's a perfect lead up to the next question. How many miles a day did you hike? I split the CDT up into 2 summers for a reason, so that I could average 15 miles a day. And when I did my plans for sections, it was always 15-mile days. Sometimes less, sometimes more. I'm honestly going to say I don't think I went over 25. I did a couple 23, 24 maybe, but I don't think I ever went over 25 miles on the entire CDT. So for you people that think you have to do it all in one shot and you're going to have to do 30-mile days and whatnot, it's really not true. Break it up. Go at a pace that works for you. Wildlife sightings. I get asked about this a lot. Yes, I did see bears. I only saw 2 bears, and it was for a 3-day period at the beginning of this past summer. One was probably a grizzly bear. I didn't ask him for ID. The other was a black bear for sure. One was concerned about me and one wasn't. And it was the black bear that was not concerned in the least. That little grizzly bear that I saw scared to death of me. So it was interesting. But I did think a lot about grizzlies. They made me lose some sleep. My favorite wildlife sighting, I'd have to say, was the wild horses in the Great Basin. Would have never thought that I would see my favorite wildlife in the Great Basin, and that's how it worked out. A lot of people don't care for horses, especially hikers, because of what they do to hiking trails, but I love horses. Probably more than the people riding them, but I do love horses. And man, they were gorgeous. After seeing so many cattle, they were just so gorgeous compared to a cow. It just blew me away. Saw a lot of elk, moose. Hey, saw several moose. Hey, people passing me on their bikes here. But moose, I saw a pine marten. Really, I have a whole series of videos if you want more details. I saw a lot of wildlife. I can't think of it all right now. Those were the big ones. Elk, of course, deer, birds of all types. The squirrels were my friends. I already ranted about that. Oh, I did see buffalo in Yellowstone too. So yeah, it was cool. How about some gear questions? What was my favorite piece of gear? I've gotten that question. Honestly, my favorite piece of gear, probably my tent. And it's not because I love the brand of tent. I carried a Z-Pax duplex. Good tent for out there, good tent for what I used it for. But it becomes home. So that is probably my favorite piece of gear. That was my home. I love my trekking poles. I carried Black Diamond trekking poles. My pack did really well. It was an Osprey, smaller Osprey pack, only a 50 liter. I carried butane stove. I do cook dinners. But I'm not a gear guy. I don't talk a lot about gear. I think that's blown up and try to get people to buy stuff. You just need to get out there with what you have. Such a pretty day. It's Friday afternoon. It's like 70 degrees right now. So, I might think of another one, but this might be the last question. What's next for me? I've had the CDT on my mind for so many years, knowing that that was going to be my next big adventure. You know, in the meantime, I hiked the long trail and all these weekend trips, but I kind of have to have a bigger adventure like on the horizon to keep me motivated to do stuff and work towards something. And so I think my next big trip, and this is not anything set in stone at all, but a deep feeling I have, it's probably going to be the Appalachian Trail again, guys. I hiked the AT in 1994 and 1995, those were my years. And a lot has changed since then. And I don't take the AT lightly because it's such a physical trail. It's so hard to do with the ups and downs and the heat and the humidity and the rain. And man, I don't even know why somebody would want to hike the whole AT, to be honest. But then you get out there and it's something about it. It just grabs hold of you. So my time frame on that is really loose. I need to work for at least a year. People keep teasing me that I'll be back out next summer. I don't think so. I mean, maybe for a week or something, but not like a long hike. This channel, that's another thing that we need to talk about. I'm going to keep it going for a while. But I'm going to ask you guys a favor. If you watch the videos and you're not subscribed, just subscribe, for God's sakes. I'm trying to get up to 1,000, then I can make a little money. Not a lot of money. Just something to get back from all the hours I've put into these videos. So yeah, please subscribe. Tell your friends if they like hiking videos to subscribe. Go some bikers. But yeah, that'd be like huge if I could get to 1,000 and start getting paid for the ads. I hate that they put ads on these videos for y'all. I don't put the ads on there. I don't get a penny off of it, honestly. I've made $0. I've lost money making videos for the last 4 years. And I didn't get into it to make money, but it was always in the back of my head that I could. And I still want to. I'm not stupid. I'm going to do it anyway, so why not make a little money at it, right? But yeah, so I'm going to try to keep it going, but let's see what happens after a long through hike. Is you kind of want to try some different stuff, like biking. I've got a kayak and a canoe, so I do float trips, and you know, you just get so much hiking in that time to do something different. So you might see some bike videos. Might get into bike packing. I've been thinking about that, like doing this whole C O Canal trail. I don't want to do like a big road bike tour or anything, but definitely would consider the C O Canal trail. It's 168 miles. Goes from Cumberland, Maryland to Washington, D.C. It's pretty much a piece of cake for a triple crowner, right? I hurt my butt, but that's about it. So yeah, look for that. Maybe the C O Canal Trail. Do some more sections on the AT. We'll keep going. And then, you know, I think if I hike the AT, that's the really popular videos out there. I'd probably get a lot of followers from hiking the AT. So if I don't after hiking the AT, then I will give up on the channel. I know this video has been all over the place, but I do want to answer one last question, or maybe I should just call it a comment. Do you think about the trail every day? Still? I probably think about the trail every hour. I'll be completely honest. I'm still really trying to process it all. These pictures pop up on my phone every hour. I've got it shuffled so that it pop up a different picture. They're not all CDT pictures, but a lot of them are. And every time I see one of those pictures, it's so beautiful. And in a weird way, it hurts a little bit. I don't know that if you haven't thru hiked, I don't think you could understand what I'm talking about, but just the sheer beauty and like knowing that you were a part of that and in that, seeing it every day, and now it's still there, but you're over here in this world where you got to go to work and earn money, drive a car, all that stuff. And when you're on the trail, you don't realize how good you have it. But I honestly think about it every day. I don't know how long that's going to take to be done. It took a long time after the AT and the PCT. And I guess some people get wrapped up in, like, call that post-trail depression. In my case, I don't really think I'm depressed, but it does hurt a little bit to see those pictures and miss that. And, like, it's hard to believe it was even you sometimes. So that's probably the most personal thing I'll say on this whole video. But yeah, it had a very deep impact on me, and I'm still working through that. 3,000 miles of some of the most beautiful backcountry in North America. Yeah, where do you start? How do you remember all that? At my age, like, the memories get all jumbled up, where these pictures were, when they were taken, who I was with, all that stuff. The cure for that is getting out and doing stuff like this, riding a bike, floating a river, hiking, and in my case, even my work is a little bit of therapy because I get to work on cannabis plants. And my hike was fueled by cannabis. So anyway, yeah, it was something. Still working on figuring it all out. Much like the CDT, I just found myself on the wrong trail. I actually left Hancock on the Western Maryland Rail Trail or something like that. And it parallels the C O Canal. So when I realized I was on that, I just kept going, but I couldn't find a place to cut across, so I just had to, like, push my bike through the woods. Oh, there's the spot. right there. But anyway, the river's on my right now. I'll show you some pictures of the river in a minute when I get some good views. But I turned around. I think I've gone about 6 or 7 miles, so I'm gonna go 6 or 7 miles back. I still have to work tomorrow, so I would be out a little bit longer, but this is like an after work thing. This was a concrete factory for when they were building the locks. This is what the little hiker, biker campsites are like. They're nice. There's a bench there, porta potty, water. Let's see if the water's working. Oh yeah. And then there's a picnic bench. I'm gonna sit down here, take myself a little break. My legs are tired. If I'm gonna do the C O Canal trail, I gotta get in shape.